Crypto is like this close, that close to pumping. We are so close for crypto. Bitcoin in general, we'll take a look at the little hurdle that we need to get over. We'll do live gold, silver, precious metals analysis as well. We'll take chart requests. You're watching this live on X and on YouTube right now. And if you're watching on the replay, use the time codes below to go to your favorite part. But man, if you're watching live, you get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main, sans the intro music, trying something, going back to some old school stuff right now. But look, let's do the synchronized slurp. Synchronized slurp. You grab a tasty beverage. I grab my tasty beverage. We slurp them synchronously together wherever you are in the world right now. I have a lot of international subscribers and followers on X and on YouTube. Whatever you're drinking is cool with me. Non-fluoridated water, kind of the best thing. I'm better than you because I drink non-fluoridated water. Oh, I just did it. I didn't. Oh my God. 3, 2, 1. Synchronized slurp. Go. My goodness me, who am I? I am Joe Main. I've been a stacker of precious metals since 2010, a stacker of crypto since 2013. Now I do this daily live show all about stacking skills, stacking satoshis, stacking stuff. Give me 1 second. I really just didn't think about that one, did I? Let me do that, and then we golden, bro. Stacking skills, stacking silver, stacking satoshis, stacking stocks, stacking everything that we stack here with me, Joe Main, a stacker of precious metals since 2010, stacker of crypto, as I said, and I'm just kind of rambling, going back to the old school, not doing the intro thing, because I got to, you know what, I got scared yesterday. Someone commented on the video and said, love the show, man, but that 2-minute intro is really annoying. And you know what, I had been thinking about getting rid of it in the first place. I'm going to trial that again. You know the reasons why I did it? Basically, the reason why I did it is because I needed enough time to fix something on X. I'll show you right here. I'm going to share the screen. By the way, follow me on X and then we'll get to all that other stuff. Oh, look at me. I'm looking at me, looking. I'm looking at me, looking at me. Ready? Watch this. I'm looking at me, looking at me. Oh, yeah, that didn't work. Okay, good on you, Joe. Anyway, follow me on X, please. Could you do that? X.com/it's Joe Main. Because what I do is I go live and then I do a little thing here where I change all this to get a few more watches on X so that it's, trending and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's eating into the other stuff like that 2-minute intro. I love it. It's funky. But I'm going to trial this again. Great to see so many people watching. Let's do some shout outs before we get to the topics of the day. G'day, Maximus. Good to see you. GMS, he says, Super Chat. Super Chat from Richard Penn. Super Chat, $2. GMS, my goodness, crypto, beautiful, he says. Thank you for the Super Chat, my friend. Super Chats are open, helps to support the show. Did you know also the show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, and quite soon to be another brand sponsor. A few weeks down the track, quite possibly. We'll talk about that when it happens. Thanks, Richard. GMS, glad to be alive, as Bruce Willis said in Die Hard or Die Hard, in Die Free or Die Hard. Quote, all the lights are green. More chaos, more trouble, more inflation, more distractions. Welcome to game time. Could be right, my friend. Neil, it's unlike you to say buy silver, platinum, and crystallized osmium. I've got to speak to Space Miner. Oh man, Space Miner hasn't been on for a while. I have to speak to Space Miner, get him on the channel, and talk about crystallized osmium. Let's see, people. The Hunger Games. GMS, good to see you. Synchronized Slurp, the epitome of self-reflection. Joe, looking at Joe, looking at Joe. That's just weird. Silent Stacker is here too. Good to see you, my friend. We are going to talk about, we'll start with crypto today. We're going to start with that because it has been pumping. So give me 1 or 2 seconds. Yeah, no, I'll just do it now. Crypto is this close from a face-melting epic pump kind of mood. I use face melting in that kind of, Doesn't mean it's face melting, but it's really poised for a potential lovely move higher. We did talk about it yesterday. We've just seen overnight a nice little pump up to those sort of inverted head and shoulders necklines. Some have already pumped. We'll look at some that have already pumped. We'll look at the ones that haven't quite pumped yet. They're just getting really poised. And we'll take a look at the Bitcoin price. Then we'll do gold, silver, and all our lovely stacking community, precious metals people too. And then I'll take some chart requests if I have said time. I'm going to share the screen. Now, again, please follow me on X. That would be lovely. x.com/it's Joe Main. I go live on there and on YouTube. Here is Bitcoin on the daily time frame, price in USD, $102,950 What the blazes happened in the last 24 hours? Well, we did finally have a nice little pup. Okay, so that's great. So we did. You may come back and test support, but so far so good. We're back over the 0.786 Fibonacci from this high and this low. That's also very good too. A couple of things we need to be wary of. Okay, always got to be wary. Now, at this stage, it looks like a new all-time high in Bitcoin is potentially coming very soon. Question is where we get to, and question is how long the pump happens, and is that the last desperate splurts of the gas tank and all that kind of stuff. So let's take a quick look here. You're looking at the relative strength index here. It cleared this level here, which was what we really needed to see. It cleared that. Okay, so then that gave way to, okay, that's not going to be a bearish divergence, right? So we're not going to see lower prices. And we remained above the $96,000 key fib right there from that high and that low, and it was also above this uptrend line, the one that goes back to the previous all-time highs in 2021. Nice confluence of stuff. We went back above it. This was a fake out here. Okay, faked you out, failure to close below there, so a quick move to the opposite direction. So failed move, fast move in the opposite direction, and we've remained above, and that's good. So good to see. What we need to keep an eye out is the following. Yes, we can see some all-time highs. We then need to see what is the relative strength index and other stuff doing, the other indicators, okay? So let me show you on the weekly, for example. This might happen. This might not happen. I don't know. Let's find out. Spitballing a little bit. If we start making some higher highs and then that higher high looks like, oh, that's okay. Well, we've had our higher high. Fantastic. Now we need to do one of these consolidations. Okay. Something like that. Pick a number, whether it's 130,000, 140,000, 150,000. I don't know, whatever it is. Pick a number for you. Not going to tell you it's definitely going to this kind of area. However, what you would see is if we do, and I'm not saying it's doing this in the next couple of weeks or whatever, it's looking pretty good. Okay. But if we do make a higher high, okay, the thing you need to watch out for, pick a number. Is it right here? Is it a double top? Is it there? Is it there? Is it, up here at 150? I don't know. Could we pump to there in the next few weeks? It's possible, okay? What you need to watch out for is the relative strength index. You're watching out for potential bearish divergence, okay? Exactly like we did here. So we pumped to 75,000. This was back in March of 2024. We pumped to the all-time high of 109,000 in December of last year. Okay, that formed this higher high. But what you noticed on the relative strength index was the lower high, okay, like that. And then that formed, okay, bearish divergence, going to consolidate for a while, and did that. So that's what's this is what might play out. Where you do the same. So then you close somewhere below here. So anywhere below here, would be a bearish divergence. You close flat there. So if we're pumping higher here, but then you're only reaching to around about here or lower, then that's a bearish divergence. Okay, so that would be a higher high. That would be a flattening or a lowering high. And then that would again roll over. Now, that doesn't mean it's completely done. That could actually be a nice little, again, just a move up and then consolidation for a while. Okay, but don't expect Bitcoin to be going to, your 200,000s and all that kind of stuff. I don't think just yet. I think, around this general area might be it. And then, you just got to watch out for another bit of consolidation. So what would be the perfect scenario for me? Let's do the following. Let's do this. let's call it, say, 130. I think that's, I don't want to give exact price targets, but look, it is the 1.618 Fibonacci from this high and this low. Okay, so 130. Some other people have been talking about 130, 140, so watch out for that. And then I think you might come back to even test here again at that uptrend line. You never know. So that's, and just watch out for that. Okay, you need to clear above that. If we do that, okay, then you can say, okay, we've made a higher high, and we've also pumped higher than there. So that's actually a confluence, and that could actually say, okay, a continuing of the trend. But I would imagine around about your 130-ish is probably pretty good. I did say I didn't want to give you higher targets, but I just kind of did, didn't I? Watch out for 130. Okay, around about there, give or take. In Bitcoin, it's like, give or take 10 grand. Whatever, 140, 150. But yeah, at that kind of point, we'd be getting back into extremely overvalued on the weekly time frame as well. So just keep that in mind. Cool. Yeah, so that's Bitcoin. Looking good. Great. Now let's talk about general crypto. Okay, and here's the hurdle that we need to get over. We're right there. We're right on the cusp of it. Okay, and we may have even just crossed it. So here is others. This is the altcoin market minus the top 10. Cool. We did talk about this inverse head and shoulders pattern. The neckline has just broken. So that's for general crypto. Now, some cryptos, and we'll look at some individual ones in a second, have already done their pump, right? They've been pumping, okay? Some haven't crossed their necklines just yet, okay? So some still have that pump to go, okay? Not all crypto goes at the exact same time in the exact same percentage. So you got to pick the one, that one pumped, but you got to pick the ones that, okay, almost ready to go. We'll do that in a second. But here's others. Great to see. This is great. Look, it's now broken the downtrend line. That is amazing. This is a really good setup for a huge crypto pump, okay? So in left shoulder, head, right shoulder, broke the neckline. We've broken the decline, okay, resistance. Now all we need to do is hold that. That's all you need to do, okay? And let's take a look on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour at least. What have we done on the 1 hour? On the 1 hour, it looks like we have, and we've tested it exactly. Wow, I think we could be on our way, potentially. So yeah, we've broken through, tested the exact downtrend line. You break out, you retest, and then we could be on our way, people. I will say though, we are an extremely overvalued already on the 1 hour time frame. This is a big move from just, day and a half ago, something like that. That's a huge move. Okay, you've seen it go into extremely overvalued on the 1 hour. That doesn't spend forever there. Okay, so we will tick over at some point. So what we're now looking out for is signs of a short-term bearish divergence, just short-term on the hourly time frame. Okay, so what I'd be expecting is the following. I am expecting at some point we have a higher high and then we have a lower high on the relative strength index. So far, it's actually respecting, it's doing higher highs and lower highs. So to give you an example, we're doing that. Again, this is on the 1 hour, but the steam is starting to run out. Can you see that? So that's technically, you see that? That's a higher high. I could see us in the next couple of hours, even in the next maybe, 4-8 hours, something like that, having a higher high, but then this doesn't cross. Then if you do that, so for example, if you do, let's say, pick a number and then it doesn't cross here and it's kind of flat like that, then that would signal a bearish divergence, again, just on the short term. Okay, and then we might just have a bit of a tick back over. And where would you want to find support? I would say around about here. Again, this is on the others market. So this is the general crypto market, okay? And you want to find support. That's pretty easy. Just find it around about there and have a, quick move and then back up. That would be lovely. But that might not happen, okay? We just might be smooth sailing from here. So that's general crypto getting into, extremely overvalued on the 1 hour. But you still can pump quite a bit. Let's take a look at them individual crypto, ones that have done some good pumping so far. I want to show you Pepe. Let's have a look at Pepe, and then we'll take a look at some others that I did mention on the X account post as well. We're going to be talking about Gala, GRT, Doge, and WIF as well. But I really want to show you Pepe first because this has already broken through its areas of resistance, okay? And it's already pumping, so it's done its thing. And look, it's still got room to go, okay? But we're extremely overvalued on the daily time frame, but you can spend a good amount of time in there. So that's got some good room to move now. If you take a look at where the buyers are, we've gotten through those areas. So this is, again, Pepe. Buyers, we're through that area, we're through this area here. You can actually say that this, and it's not as typical for this to be the big area, okay? We're getting through that area and we're through it right now. So where are all the buyers now? Well, there's not many. There's a few up here, okay, back here. But it's mainly selling at the moment. Where are the main buyers in? Where's the trapped money? Now it's all up here. All right, so that's your trapped money, and that happens to be at the Fib 500 right there. So that is at around about, call whatever that is, 40169. Cool. So that, if it were, and I think it has a very good chance of doing so, not guaranteed, that's about a 50% move from here. Not bad. So watch out for this area here to act as some kind of resistance in this zone, okay? And if you can crack through there, that's like, oh, okay, we're talking new all-time highs for Pepe. So I am not in Pepe. I actually missed the boat yesterday, missed it. So I'm actually looking at some other stuff to be in right now. We did talk about them yesterday. Let's go to those. I'm going to show you WIF. It's nearly there. Okay, this is why I'm saying crypto is so close. This is WIF. I did talk about it yesterday very quickly. It has not yet broken its neckline like some other cryptos have. Okay, inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, right, left head, right shoulder. Now, some people might say, oh, Joe, I don't know if that's an inverse head and shoulders. You could be right, because maybe that's a little bit too high, that neckline. You absolutely could be right, but I still think it has a possibility of pumping quite well. So if it can get through this level here, that's at around about that 70-cent level. We did talk about it yesterday. It can pump very easily. I mean, that is so easy, a 85, 90% pump to the trapped money. A lot of trapped money here, and you can see there'll be probably major resistance here. Might not be enough to make it up to the next level of resistance, and that's 175% from here. I think 90% is pretty good, so watch out for a move to here if we crack through there. If this, then very likely that, because where is the money? In here, that's all dead space. Look at that. Look at that. There's nothing there. So that's just basically smooth sailing, right? And that's pretty good. So I'd really be watching out for WIF right now, particularly because Pepe is doing a pump. Watch out for some other meme coins to do so. We'll take a look at Toshi as well in just a second. So that's WIF. That's one of the first ones on my radar, okay? Crosses there, I am probably in for a nice little move, okay? And where would I get out at? I would probably have a stop loss maybe here at around about 50 cents. Okay, it's a bit of a risk, but the reward is potentially good. That is WIF. Let's take a look at. We'll go back to Gala and GRT. Here is Gala again. We talked about it yesterday. Let me get rid of that. It just sailed through that Fibonacci that we had just removed there. And it is right on the precipice. Okay, it's nearly at my alert line. Once we cross that neckline roughly there, I think I'll be probably in. I'm expecting, though, on the 1 hour time frame, we've just come up to it, and see how it's just almost just touched it, and then we might just be ticking over now on the RSI on the 1 hour, so we could have a potential extra little pump, but then I think we're probably going to see a little bit of resistance here. So my bet is that we maybe come down a little bit here and we touch somewhere down into this zone here. That's anywhere between. And if this is like a really good little bull pumpy thing that's happening, you don't normally get into down all the way down here. What you want to see is it just bounce off there. Technically, that's a touch of it, so that's good. That's at around about 1.7 cents. So I'm looking for a move down to 1.7 cents first after such a large move. I think you come down to 1.7 cents first, roughly, and then I think that'll bounce off there. Trigger that alert, and what kind of move are we looking at? I did say it's around about an 80% move. okay, to the next level of where the buyers are sitting, and the next level of major buyers is around about there at 3.3 cents. Okay, so I'd be playing it for that. See what happens from there, keep monitoring it, and then, hey, if it just kind of sails through to the next levels, well, I'm just going to hold on to it. And, why would I sell here if I see it's pumping? Okay, that is Gala. That is Gala. Let's take a look at GRT, the graph. It's doing exactly the same thing as Gala, okay? Right near the breakout point, okay? Right near the neckline, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right there. There's your neckline. It breaks that. I am in, baby. Cool. I am, though, expecting, just like the graph, I am expecting a slightly, and here we go. It might even be happening right now. Okay, we've just made a higher high on the 1 hour, and we only have 9 minutes until the end. Okay, here's my prediction. We have 9 minutes until the end of this hour. We've made a higher high. Here is my 1 hour prediction. We're seeing a higher high. Now we have not. Come on, dude. Let me start that again. I'll show you right there. On the hour, higher high. Cool. I think possibly, I could be wrong on all of this. Could be completely wrong. Now, if we don't cross there, that's a lower high. Okay, we enjoyed higher highs this whole time. Okay, right there. That was good. That was in lockstep with that. And now this is just ticking over. Okay, so I think this is probably a little mini high, at least on the 1 hour time frame for the graph. And there's an area which I'm looking at snapping up the bargain. I'm either going to wait for the break. If it breaks, I'm in. Or if it does have this little retrace, I'm going to get in. Okay, and we're talking between here and here, and that's at around this zone at around about 10 cents. 99, 98, 10 cents, something like that. It's within this, and if because it looks like we're in a bit of a pumpy mood, you're probably going to come down and test here. Most likely you don't get into here. You could, but the most likely is you bounce off there. So I've got my buy order at around about 9.8 cents. I might even need to raise that a little bit now. And yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Otherwise, it might just completely sail through, and then I'll have to take the trade at around about there. Good. That's the graph. What else did I talk about? I talked about, let's see, graph Doge. And I did mention ADA as well. Let's take a quick look at Doge. This is another one that, this was the one that broke. Did this break? Okay, one could say, is that a classic head and shoulder? Yeah, okay, that's pretty head and shoulders-ish. Okay, you might say that this neckline might be a little bit too steep, but I don't know about that. I think we may have just broken it. Okay, it did break my alert, so we could be onwards and upwards with Doge right now. Excuse me, I don't want you. Go away. Why would you do that to me? Hateful thing. So Doge has a little bit less of an expected pump. Okay, and I've missed that alert right there. I'm not in Doge at the moment. I might need to be ASAP. But it could pump about 55% for me if I get in right about now. If I show you on the 1 hour, am I expecting some lower prices maybe? Now, I could be completely faked out here. Okay, this might not be it whatsoever, but this is the first time. Yeah, look, you've got higher highs and kind of flattening out. Okay, so I think the momentum is slightly running out here, so I am expecting, could be wrong, expecting a little bit of relief. Okay, and then on Doge, I'd be taking it from, if this is the high, which it might not be, but if it is, then I'd be looking at the neckline right there. So I'd be expecting a move down to around about like 1.88 cents, 1.9 cents, something like that. So yeah, I'd be expecting that. Something like that into this zone or at the top end of it, okay? And something like that would be very good. Yeah, it can get to here and do that, no problem. It can even do that and do that. Not a problem whatsoever. That's fine too. I'm okay with that, but that was really detailed and liney. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm expecting that. Could be wrong, and if it does continue through, I might just have to consider, oh well, I missed the Doge neckline pump, and maybe I just stay with my GIT, I stay with my Gala, because it has more upside potential as well, as far as I'm concerned. So you know, though, you've got major confluence here at the 30-cent level. This is right here, okay? Let me show you why. From this high and this low, get rid of, it's going to do it to me again. Once again, you're watching Good Morning Stackers, where we talk about precious metals, we talk about crypto, we stack silver, we stack satoshis, we stack skills, we stack stocks and everything else here. And I'm starting with crypto today because that's having the bit of the pump, and then we'll get to precious metals, and then we'll take some chart requests. Look, Doge is looking great. I would say if it can at least, I'd love it to get over this 2.1 cent, the 21, not 2.1, 21 cent mark. That would actually be preferable. If you look at this on the more macro scale right there, getting over the 0.236 would be preferable. You could find some resistance here, but yeah, you're looking for a pump to here. Okay, that's at 30 cents. Why? Two reasons. It's the 0.5 Fibonacci from this high and this low, and then you can see there's some big area of support. What does that mean? It means there were a lot of buyers there. Okay, so you've got some trapped money, people who bought here, they've ridden it down, and then some, psychology comes into play. And when it gets back here, some people will go, oh, I hate this crypto thing, I'm out. I bought crypto for the very first time here, and I bought Doge. Oh, that was a stupid move. I'm getting out here. So then you'll see some selling pressure here at around about that 30-cent mark. It also happens to be, when I show you, where's my fib? Right there. Okay. From this old high and this old low, you have the 0.382 Fibonacci at 31 cents. And that lines up almost exactly right here. So you've got a lot of confluence between two key fibs right there. So in that zone right here between that 30, 31 cent mark, you've got buyers here. You've got that big fib level there. So that's 30 cents I would really be watching out for as an area of resistance. You might want to take some profits there just in case it's some kind of, dead cat bounce and then it fakes you out and heads back down. Watch out for 30 cents. Cool. I would highly suggest if you start clearing through this level of 30 cents and it keeps going, I wouldn't be selling at all. I'd be looking for probably new all-time highs in Doge and the infamous $1 as well. So short answer is, if it can crack and hold through 30 cents, $1 is probably coming for Doge, or much more likely. Okay, don't quote me on that. That's Doge, and I did want to take a look at ADA because I did mention it. Here is ADA, good old ADA. I think I might take a quick look at XLM too, but ADA has just nearly broken through. You can actually say, like Doge, you could, I don't know if, no, this isn't an inverse head and shoulders. Okay, so this is not an inverse head and shoulders here. That's not a left shoulder. That would look like a head. That would look like a right shoulder, but that's not a left shoulder. Okay, that hasn't dipped down into there. So this isn't an inverse head and shoulders, but we are closing right above, nearly right there, previous resistance, and that's what we want to see. So I would say on ADA, you'd be looking for a decent pump. If you can crack through that 77 cent mark, you'd be coming up to at least 90 cents, and you've got a lot of buyers there. You have to crack through there. Okay, so this is the level for ADA. If you're an ADA fan, I don't care too much about it. I'm just looking at it from, I don't care about its fundamentals and all that. I'm just looking from a technical perspective. You need to crack through there. So find some resistance here, probably. Watch out for 90 cents. And interestingly, I had it as my getting interested line. Okay, that is because it lined up with previous Fibonacci. And if we can get through 90 cents, you're probably looking at a $1.33. And then after $1.33, then you're talking the bigger guns from this high and this low. Then you're talking, that's getting into the, that's right at the top end. Okay, so let's get rid of this for a second and assume that we pump through there. Then you're looking for ADA at this major level, and it's going to be a major level, okay, in here, anywhere between that $1.33 up until about $2. That's the area you would need to fight through, and once you fight through there, it is looking really good. And then I'll be talking about, $5 to $8 major profit taking for ADA. And where are we now? We're at 76 cents. Okay, Not saying any of this is going to happen, but we at least need to clear through that 90-cent level. So that's ADA. Yeah, so far so good. Just depends on what the rest of crypto is going to do. Did I want to show you XLM? I think I did, because I think I saw something in there. XLM, Stellar Lumens. Yes, okay. Here is XLM, Stellar Lumens. Was that an inverse head and shoulders playing out? Yeah, you could say that. Cool. So this is another one. So you can call that left shoulder, head, right shoulder. There's your neckline. So this is actually similar. Okay, so I would say if it can crack through, this is like GRT, and this is like the graph and Gala. You have an inverse head and shoulders playing out. Excuse me on this. And if that can crack, then you're looking all right. Okay, you're looking for a pump at least. You've got to watch this downtrend line. So that's at around about 33 cents. So that's not much. But if you can crack through there and this decline, then you'd be looking for a nice pump. Okay, and the area I'd be looking out for next. Oh, that's the old school Fibonacci. Excuse me. I'll do the shorter term time frame. This old high, this high and this low. Then, yeah, okay, so you're looking up into this area here. Why did that happen? Don't know. You're looking at in here. Cool. Somewhere between, geez, too much, Joe. Right there, in between 36 cents and 47 cents. It has to clear through there, and then sky is blue, but you clear here, you're looking at least for a small pump. Okay, so that's not huge for ADA. There might be better opportunities, just like I said with the graph, with Gala. You've got like 80-90% potential moves if we can get above those inverse head and shoulder necklines, and whiff as well. So those are my kind of the big ones: Gala, GRT, whiff, Doge maybe as well. They're kind of the big ones I'm looking at the moment. And that's Bitcoin. I think I've done, oh no, there's one more, people. One more. Give me a moment, because I did mention it, as I often do. As I oft to do, we'll take a quick look at, okay, UFD, Trump coin, Toshi. Cool. Let's have a quick look at old mate Tosh, just for shits and giggles. Cool. Give me one moment. That's all a bunch of junk that I do not want. And I can delete. Bup. Cool. Let's take a look at Toshi. Toshi, the meme coin of base chain, the face of base. Looking interesting here. We are at 0.004188. We are back above. Okay, so far, so good. I'm cautiously optimistic for Toshi for the moment. Everything else is having a bit of a pump at the moment, so Toshi will naturally go with it. You're seeing some good moves in meme coins as well. Pepe's had a nice move. I think Whiff could be in for a good move soon. Toshi will probably follow along, because it's the meme coin of base chain these days. It used to fight with another one called Brett, but then Coinbase, Coinbase listed Brett as well, but Coinbase is owned by Brian Armstrong. Brian Armstrong has a cat named Toshi, and someone created a meme coin called Toshi, and then it got listed on Coinbase, saw that massive move, and now we're seeing this big consolidation down to the support level there. Good to see it. All I need to see it do is do that and climb up to that 0.0007 above there, looking really good. Okay, so far so good. As long as we remain above that 0.0004 level, good going. Technically, I really want to crack above there. Do that, and I'll be happy at 0.0045, and then potential onwards and upwards we go. That's Toshi. Are you still in, or have you just bought more? Okay, on this little break, let me know, my wonderful Toshi fam. I'm not back in Toshi. I will be when the weather tells me it's a good time to do so. So that's Toshi meme coin. That's all the crypto stuff for now. Okay, unless I have some chart requests in the comments. We'll go back to the screen, and of course we'll check some comments and all that sort of stuff. So the short answer is crypto is this close, that close to having a major breakout. Okay, I've shown you some that are just at their necklines for the inverse head and shoulders, and I will be in, man. I'm expecting a tiny little dip in the next few hours or so. Hopefully my buy orders are triggered. If they're not, I'll just have to, suck it up and just buy on the pump. But that's what I'm looking at right now. We'll do some comments, etc., and then we'll do precious metals and all that lovely stuff. But of course, I'm going to do it in reverse. If you are into crypto, if you're into precious metals, if you're into investing in general, if you want to be a better investor, and of course you do, that's a leading question. That's a very big sales tactic. Do you want to be a better investor? Can you handle some additional sales with your business? Would you like a larger customer base? No business in the world says, no, thank you. I'm chock-a-block. I can't handle any more customers. I never want to grow my business anymore. Okay, of course you want to be a better investor if you're an investor. Okay, Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. They offer amazing educational courses. You've got the 10-week foundational course. This could be just for you to, bolster your skills, okay, or to learn the foundations of technical analysis. That's only going to help you be a better investor, okay? You'll learn about, the big cycles of Dow theory and all that kind of stuff, right? There's so much amazing content here, okay? Or if you want to be like a full-on trader and possibly even do it for a profession, try the year-long course, okay? So this is Mastering the Markets. This is Australian owned, operated and run by none other than our favorite technical analysis person, ASX Trader. He is the head of the school, okay? He was an educator for a very long time, a primary school teacher, a primary school, I think, principal at one point, or a deputy principal, and has taken those educational principles into his trading life as well. He's a great trader too. So he launched masteringthemarkets.com, okay? If you don't want to do a course, but you still want to be part of their system, part of their society, their community, then just join their Mastering the Markets Academy, okay? Might be really interesting for you to do that, okay? There's a free version. Go to academy.masteringthemarkets.com, sign up for free, but then if you want access to all the back-end stuff, all the premium paid stuff, I got to tell you, it's just really cool. Let me just show you here. Has this been posted on here? I just saw something before. Is it? No, it's still right there. So we talked about Lotus Energy. So this is ASX Traders calls. There's a public one. Okay, now you'll actually get this one for free, okay, if you sign up. But let's have a look. This is a public one. So this is an example of if you sign up for free, you can get ASX Traders public stuff. I'll show you some private stuff in a second. He talked about a graphite, I think it's a graphite miner called NVX, which is looking very good at the moment. But again, you've got all these amazing educator calls. You've got all that private stuff. The next event is Macro Sundays, okay. The one after that is ASX Traders Weekly Market Scans. I can tell you from just being part of the academy for, I think it's only been a couple of weeks, I've already learnt so much already. That's actually helped me in my trading journey and my investment journey as well. And I'm not doing a course. I plan on doing the course, one of the courses, the big year-long one. I've learned so much in just being a member of the Mastering the Markets Academy. It's a monthly subscription. Doesn't cost that much per month. I'll put a link below to that, and I think you would find it highly what's the word? Highly good. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. That's my amazing sales pitch for Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. Let's take a look, and the academy. Let's do some stuff here. Any more super chats? No more super chats. You don't love me? You terrible people. Let's see some comments and we'll get to precious metals, etc. GRT, on the topic of GRT, I'd prefer a tiny pullback at 11 cents before breaking out to give a good chance of market structure on smaller time frame and better risk to reward. Yes, right now if it breaks out from 11 cents, here the stop loss would be at 8.5. Yes, I do agree with that. I am expecting a little bit of a dip, could be wrong. Please like and subscribe. That would be lovely. Please. GMS, a bit late here, but morning, great people. Do you think the US-UK trade... Oh, okay. Did the US-UK trade deal play a part in this pump? Quite possibly. But here's the thing. Bitcoin's probably just going to do what... Don't worry about narratives and stuff too much, okay? It's probably just going to want to do what it wants to do in the first place anyway. I think a lot of these things are just excuses to say, oh, I pumped because of that reason. Could be wrong. I think it's just natural market forces, but yeah, you could be right. This US-UK trade deal, I don't think it's not crazy good for either side, but they get some extra things. And here's the thing with that, it's the first one. Okay, so you're going to see, in my humble opinion, could be wrong, a whole bunch more just coming over the next few weeks, over the next few months. And so the first one, as someone else who I listen to very regularly, Scott Adams, he just said on his podcast this morning, here's what you're going to see coming up. The first few deals, the people who are anti-Trump will go, oh, okay, it's not a great deal. Okay, so what? No, what would you get? Okay, yeah, okay, some deals. So what? They're the low-level ones. But what about China? Hey, what about China, guys? Then I think you're probably going to start seeing more and more, this country, that country, trade deal, this, that, and the anti-Trump people will go, oh, yes, so what, big deal, okay? The more that happens, okay, the more they can't say that he's not doing a good job, okay? So I think that's probably coming. And yes, with more trade deals is going to become a more risk-on environment. It's going to go from risk-off. Tariffs, what do we do? Oh, man, it's uncertainty. Let's buy gold. We saw that gold move, okay? Trade deals come out, tariffs lower, all that stuff. Then it gets more risk-on, and then your risk-on assets like stocks and crypto and etc. have a pump while precious metals have a bit of a dip, which I will get to precious metals in just a second. Doge is doing really well. It is. Thank God it's Friday. Hit the like, people. I'm late. Morning, Joe. Morning, Jason. Good to see you. Let's see. I have come across lots of Aussie businesses. Yes, I've come across lots of Aussie businesses that don't want any more business. You could be right. Yeah, there are some that go, look, I'm an accountant. Yes, true. Look, some are at, it depends on the size of the business. So when I say that, it is a generalization. Okay, yeah, there are some. I mean, in my sales days, when I was speaking to, I'm always in sales days, but in my sales professional career where I was talking to businesses a lot, that would be one of my leading questions. Hey, just wondering, hey, it's Joe from blah, blah, blah. Can you handle any additional business? And I would sometimes have an accountant or a small-time accountant or whatever go, mate, I am chockers. I can't do, I'm 65. I'm about to retire. I'm in my sort of twilight years. I've got all my regular clients. I don't want any more business, or I can't handle any additional business. So it's true. So not true for every single case. There are exceptions, Jason. Let's go to precious metals. Let's take a look. Where are we? Give me 1 second. Where are we on my charts? I just want to check really quickly where we are in case I need to literally do some quick trades while I'm watching. Okay, that's GRT. Give me a second. Are we having a little bit of a move? Excuse me, I'm just checking my little charts here. Yes, I think we might be in the move for a down move. Anyway, let me go to precious metals. Where are we? Cool. Let's do it. I'll take it on the 4 hour. All right. Here is gold on the daily 4 hour time frame. Price in USD, $3,313. We've seen a move right down to smack. As I said on the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia forum this morning, I said Johnny has swept the leg. So if you know the reference, Johnny has swept the leg. Okay, that leg being the 618 from the 0.618 from this low and this high, right in that zone. So we went smack in it, and we found it as support so far, and we bottomed out so far at $3,290. This needs to hold, or if it does not, we are heading down. That's the short answer. If that breaks 3,000, about 3,300, 3,290, I would suggest, look, you could have a fake out here. That can always happen, and it freaks people out. Sure, but on balance of probability, you're more likely to start breaking that low and then heading further. Okay, on the 4 hour time frame, you've got room to move in further down. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily, you've definitely got room to move down as well. And now it looks like we're having some kind of confluence rather than divergence. Okay. Let me get rid of you for the moment. I hate this thing. TradingView annoys me a lot, but we all use it. You had the divergence. Okay. Higher high. The flattening out. That was the bearish divergence. Okay. Am I noticing any? You did have some hidden bullish divergence playing out, which was there, and then we saw that pump back up. But as we said, with that 0.786 Fibonacci from this high and this low, yeah, we're at a crucial support level is the short answer. Okay, I say that a lot. Yeah, I would say if you're crossing here, that's heading down further. And you've definitely got room to move down on the relative strength index into, the bottom end of the normal level, or even possibly into extremely oversold or extremely undervalued. So yeah, crucial area here. Got to hold that. Let's do that. Sure, if you want to see higher prices, it's got to sail through. It's got to get through that 3,340 level right there. If that's the bottom, give me 1 second. If that's the bottom, and again, this is just all spitballing. Short-term weather review kind of weather report kind of stuff. You need to clear through 3,380. But really on the macro, as I said, you need to close above that final hurdle of 3,440. If you do that, if this, then new all-time high. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. And my bias still remains to the downside because we've had such a large move in gold recently. It needs to have a bit of consolidation. I think we head in this direction instead of heading in that direction. I'm giving it more than a 50% chance. And because we're seeing some risk-off stuff happening with Bitcoin and crypto, where Bitcoin and crypto tend to go, precious metals tend to go in the opposite direction at the moment. So, because one's risk-off and one's risk-on. So my bias is to the downside for precious metals at the moment. Could be wrong. Here is silver on the 4-hour, $42.40. I want to show you something really interesting here. It's just the power of Fibonacci and stuff. So I'm going to show you on the daily time frame and where we were yesterday. Yesterday we were around about here at that 3240 level, and I said, well, it needs to crack back above through this level here. Okay, now it needs to hold here. That was a different move. I should have said needs to get through there. And I said, watch out between, this 32.40 and this area of about $32.90. On the daily time frame yesterday, look at that spike. Don't you find that? So look at that. We opened at 32.40. We spiked all the way up to 32.90, and it's exact resistance. Exact. Okay, right at the 618, which is where we really needed to close above. So that's not a good move. Okay, you have, again, this is on the daily time frame. You have an opening candle. You have an opening, a huge spike. And what do we talk about? Huge spikes to the upside. It's not great because the sellers are in control of the market. We then closed back below here. We've since opened, and then, so my bias is to the downside at the moment for silver. And I would suggest if we crack below, let me do some different stuff here now. I'll get rid of you. Yeah, my bias is definitely to the downside. I don't think we do that. So more than a 50% chance, I think we're going to see lower prices from here. Excuse me. Could be wrong, completely wrong. And I'd be happy to because it's silver, baby. Now, here's the positive. Yes, this is this area we talked about. Here's the positive for silver. We're still above this level here. We're still, and that's really good actually for silver. So I shouldn't count it out yet. I am expecting maybe a slight move back below, but we really don't want to get into this area again. If you get back into this area, I'd say, heading down. So anywhere down to about $30.40 US cents, I'm fine with. You don't want to crack below there. Okay. Yeah, we had one test of it. Okay. Failure to hold, potentially further move. If we get down to there, that's the area. Don't cross below $30.50. Otherwise, poof. Okay, very likely. And then we'll talk, maybe even down. Yeah, we're into your 28 kind of level again. Okay. So hold $30.40, please. And hey, let's do that. That would be lovely. Break that $35 final boss. And then we're talking $50 coming really quickly. And then, all-time highs, triple-digit silver, all that. It is coming in the future. It is coming. It's just you. This is your normal market moves. You go up, you go down, you could go up or you could go down as further as that. That's your big one. Don't break there. Do that. Please and thank you for silver. That will be lovely. But my bias for the next 24 hours at least is to the downside. Could be wrong. That is silver. Platinum is doing a slightly different thing, isn't it? It is forming a better move than gold and silver are. So you're going to be seeing the platinum and gold and platinum and silver ratios actually rise at the moment. Looking good, looking all right. Platinum, we had this move. A lot of people are bullish on platinum at the moment. Look at that perfect move from this low and this high. The perfect move off that 0.382. Okay, got right into the top end of the zone and said, screw you, I'm not even testing the middle of it. It just said, I'm just going to bounce off here. If you crack above here at that 993, then you're probably going to make a play for this. And this is what we want. We want that, and that. And it's probably signals real good go time for platinum. Okay. Platinum is in a long-term accumulation mode. Should you be... I'm going to give you financial advice. No, I don't give financial advice technically. But I would say if you're not looking at buying platinum around about here-ish, I don't know how much more time it has before it starts doing its breakout. Okay, the ultimate breakout is when it crosses around about 1100-ish. Okay, and that is absolute go time for platinum. As I've been saying, that's that decline, that downtrend line right there. It could do it here. It could do it in the next couple of months. This is on the monthly time frame right now. Once it does that, then we're talking much higher. Okay, yeah, it's looking really good. So really, you really want to consider some platinum now. Okay, whether that's buying platinum with some spare dry powder you have, I'd probably suggest that. If you stack a lot of silver, good on you. If you stacked a lot of gold, good on you. You're doing great guns for the future and for your children, your grandchildren, generational wealth. If you do have some more spare dry powder, really highly look at platinum now rather than buying silver, or particularly rather than buying gold. I wouldn't be buying gold here. I'd be buying silver or platinum. Between the two, between platinum and silver, I'd be buying platinum right now. Okay. If you speak to some bullion dealers, I speak to bullion dealers regularly. Platinum is the thing at the moment. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, should you be swapping your gold or your silver for platinum? Not necessarily. Again, if you've got dry powder, you're regularly, dollar cost averaging, put it into platinum at the moment. Not financial advice, but put it into platinum of all the precious metals at the moment. Okay, it's looking really good. Let's take a quick look at rhodium. Rhodium is bouncing off. It's not breaking down through support, so we're so far so good. Rhodium, I will be in if it starts cracking below, might be in if it starts cracking above about 680. I would have to see if there's better risk to rewards. Rhodium might not be one, but it's just looking pretty interesting. It's fine. It's forming a great base here at $360. We've nearly broken up through 680, and if it does there, and I'd say if it breaks that $780 mark, then you're looking pretty good for a bit of a pump. It's harder to buy. Don't buy physical rhodium. Just don't. I won't give you all the reasons. Don't buy physical rhodium. Not worth your time. You would have to get into a tracker like this, which is XRH0, listed on the London Stock Exchange at 1/10 of the actual spot price. Okay, it tracks it at 1/10 of the price. That's rhodium, but really focus on platinum, focus on gold and silver, focus on platinum and silver at the moment, and rhodium might be a thing if you just, you want some variety and you want to diversify within the precious metals. Cool? That's all the precious metals. Gold to silver ratio is at 102. Nothing to say. Copper. I might have to do something on copper coming soon. Copper has not broken through any major resistance. It's at $4.60 US. Nothing to say about copper, really. Yeah, no, don't want to talk about it. And the Australian dollar to the US dollar is having a little bit of a dip. And we're coming back to a support level. And if it breaks through... Ooh, my LYC crossing. Good to know. If the Australian dollar breaks back below through here at about 63.5 cents, then I'd be watching for a further move down. Okay, if it finds support here, then great, onwards and upwards you go. Whether that's great for you remains to be seen. Some people want a weaker Australian dollar. Some people want a stronger Australian dollar against the USD. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Some things will be pro for you. Some things might be con, depending. So yeah, that's just where we are though at the moment. But for some people trading in, whether they want to hold US dollars or hold Australian dollars, this is important for them. So if you're trading like on the Forex and etc., and I do have a portion of my stable currency, fiat, dirty fiat currency. I have a portion of it in USD at the moment. So I don't want to see this climb. I don't want to see this. So there might be a time soon where I have to put all of that back into Australian dollars if I think this is going to continue. Now, if I thought this was going to continue going down, happy to hold USD because the value of my AUD holdings would be going up. Okay, but I don't want to start losing purchasing power if I'm holding US dollars and the Australian dollar continues to strengthen. So I've got to make a decision really soon. I'll let you know when I do. That is everything I really want to talk about, I think, unless anyone has any chart requests or something that they want me to look at. We are nearly at the 1 hour. Go away. What are you doing? Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to turn off the... Excuse me. I'm going to have to turn off... Yeah, I get it. Okay. Oh, EDV crossing as well. Getting all my alerts crossing. They're crossing back below, though. They're not crossing above. I'm going to do that so you can't hear it. Thank you and good night. Let's do some comments, maybe some chart requests, and yeah, we'll have a good old time. Thanks to our American friends, I've seriously been thinking about fractional platinum. Fractional platinum might not be bad. I do agree with that. Hey, Joe, where have your time codes been lately? Good question, Desi. Thank you. You are correct. I haven't been doing time codes lately because I've just had other stuff to do. I will continue to do time codes. My apologies. You are correct. It's literally like I don't use AI to do it because I don't think it all works all that well necessarily. So I have to straight after the show. Here's out of interest. The show just doesn't end, okay? After the show ends, what I do is I have to change the thumbnail. Then I have to do all the time codes as well. And it can take up to like half an hour to do all that stuff. So I'm still working hard for the money long after the show is over. But yes, I agree with that. Thank you. Alan says, gather gold, stack silver, be your own bank. I do agree with that, my friend. Any comments, any final comments, and then we shall get out of here, unless that's it for the day. It could be. We've talked about crypto. We've talked about how it's this close to breaking out. We've talked about precious metals. Do see some dips in gold and silver. However, platinum is looking very tasty here at the moment. Don't sleep on platinum, okay, my party people. Again, maybe you're the type of person that is hopefully wanting to play the crypto market if we're going into a bit more of a pump here to then up your precious metals stacks, whether that's gold, silver, platinum, etc. I can tell you right now, if crypto does, continues to do well, if, for example, on the graph or Gala games or whatever, if I make a good 80% there on my trades, I'm going to be putting, when I think crypto is done, I'm going to be putting my crypto winnings all back into precious metals, and silver will be a mainstay and platinum will be a big one too. Okay, just so you know, I think we're all done. Starting to get a little bit quiet here. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching Good Morning Stackers. Gets higher every time with me, Joe Main, live on X and on YouTube. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. You get a warm and fuzzy feeling all through your stuff when you do. What's coming up next week? Next week, we might have a new brand sponsor that I might announce. That might be coming in a couple of weeks' time. I don't know. We'll figure out all the stuff to do with that. May have an interview or so. You never know. I've really got to reach out, as I said, to Space Miner to talk about crystallized osmium. I want to find out more about that. And it's the last day of the week, people. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. What are you doing this weekend? Let me know in the comments after the show has finished. Grab your tasty beverages, people, because we shall do the final synchronized slurp and we shall dance it out because, ladies and gentlemen, you have watched.
Oh yeah, we're feeling fine. It's podcast time.
Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage.
Let's do that.
Synchronized.
3, 2, 1, go. Thanks for watching all this week, people. Good week. Good show week. Stay safe. Stay informed. Keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.